in a week.
Oh yeah.
All right, and rounding off for us today is Alan Pettigrew, and we are the Traveling Hoopers. Let's go ahead and get into our first topic. Let's start with college basketball, because nothing makes more sense to talk about basketball when there are 3 days where there's no NBA than college basketball.
That
And
is true.
we got to talk about Zion, bro. I've never seen a human being explode a shoe off of a cut, especially not like that, bro. It's like his foot went Hulk on the shoe and just ripped it in half.
Like that mess was wild. I don't think
It was
anyone's seen anything like it.
Yeah, bro. Especially not at college level, bro.
definitely not. I mean, it shows how explosive this dude is. This dude completely busted his shoe the first 5 minutes of the game.
Bro, it wasn't even
That's
it's 36 seconds in. Just,
I try to give him some credit lasting in the game, but I guess that didn't work out. And Obama was there, man. Like,
bro, I heard if you catch it at the right angle, I believe it's at like 32 seconds, and you zoom in on the shoe, a tear drops before it splits in half. No, look it up for real.
that's funny.
Uh,
All right, I'm
uh,
about to look at it right now.
I'm gonna just take your word for that one. I don't feel like looking it up.
Yeah, but Zion different. But so do they have to make new reinforced shoes for someone like Zion? If that's the case, if he's
Uh,
gonna just blow shoes apart,
so
They're gonna
the
have to.
I mean, I'd assume, but at least assume, like looking on Twitter and whatever, those shoes probably really most shoes aren't designed for a dude like him, but they're better shoes for him.
yeah, bro. No, he gotta wear like the bulky LeBron shoes, bro. He gotta wear the soldiers, the joints where you gotta strap them hoes on and you gotta lace them up, and there's like 3 inches of cushion on each side.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. You don't hear LeBron tearing his ACL or people that wear
Hey,
LeBron's tearing
don't
their
wish that
Uh,
on
ACL.
that. Don't wish that on that man. He about 93 now in basketball years, bro.
You talking about LeBron?
Yeah,
And nah, not what I seen
uh,
last night. The other night.
uh, 93 in basketball years is Vince Carter.
Yeah.
nah, bro. Vince Carter's 41 in basketball years, bro. There's
How's
there's a
LeBron
different level of
90
like
something
playing.
and Vince Carter is
There's a
like
different level of playing that LeBron has went through compared to Vince Carter.
I don't
I,
know.
Vince Carter's going over you. LeBron's going through you.
Uh,
I guess, but I'm not sure how that ages differently.
Contact.
but LeBron
I
has the
guess.
body for it, though, man. I don't know if Vince Carter has the body for it. He just has athleticism and he has skill. But
Yeah.
LeBron James spends $1 million on his body every single year. That's a lot of money just on your body.
It's a lot of money, bro. I'll give you that. But y'all hear about Nike losing like $1.2 billion in evaluation after Zion ripped their shoe apart with his
That is,
like toes.
I did not hear about that. That is funny and it's kind of dumb.
No, from a business standpoint, because all evaluations are just reactions to things that have happened. If your executive comes out and says some really wild stuff, business people are gonna be like, "Ooh, you look messy. Let me not put my money in you." But you just ripped a pair of shoes in half, and it's pretty much the one of the biggest stars in basketball right now on on one of the biggest stages in like the past. I think that was probably the biggest game of the year, bro.
It
Yeah,
always is. It
In
always is.
basketball, period, NBA, everything. I think that was the biggest game of the year so far,
Yeah, definitely.
tickets were going for 3 grand. So yeah,
bro. Hey, when I saw that, I was like, you know what? There's no way I'm going to that game. There's no way I'm going to that game,
Absolutely no way. Unless you hit the lotto. But there's no
bro. Even if I
absolute
hit the
way.
lotto, I'm not. I'm like,
I'm
wait.
I'm
Can I
doing
watch
it.
this on TV? Oh, no, I'm not going.
uh,
Not going to that.
But the thing with Nike and that stuff, you're talking about they lost a bunch in valuation. It's just like for me, it's kind of just like you said, he is one of the biggest basketball players out there right now. But that's both figurative and literal. He's a big boy. Most pretty much just about anybody else isn't breaking that shoe, and anybody else who might is probably wearing a different shoe or a stronger version of it.
I can tell you one basketball player that I can never ever see blowing a shoe apart, and that's Steph Curry.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Steph Curry. Yeah, the only thing he do is shoot. Literally. And he's probably a buck 80. 6'3", a buck 80, maybe.
Yeah, bro, he a legend though. We'll give him that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, best shooter of all time.
But outside of that thing with Zion though, that game wasn't super memorable. Like Duke couldn't shoot from three to save their lives, and
But Cam
nobody.
Johnson got off.
Yeah, like what North Carolina, they got most of their points in the paint.
Yeah, yeah, they were bullying those guys in the paint. Like there was no rim protection whatsoever going down there.
So does that mean Zion is that much of a catalyst for that team, or is that team just not, or they were so distraught about Zion that they just didn't have it in the team?
I think it was both. I think he is the catalyst at this team. At the same time, they were probably like, "What just happened?" You know, what just happened? And probably they didn't look like they didn't want to play it until like the second half, until they realized Zion's actually gone. That's when they started actually playing. But I think it was both.
But like even then though, what I think I don't even remember how much they scored. Might have had 70 something, and Reddish and Barrett had most of those, 50, 60 of those.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
You know what I still think is the funniest and like the wildest thing about it? Barrett actually ended up finishing the game with like 30 points, which was the most in a rivalry game for Duke since Jabari Parker, and he still got slandered for it.
but
Like people were still saying like he didn't take over the game. It was like, bro, I had most of this team's points. What are you talking about?
Yeah, whoever said that, crazy.
like outside of Reddish and Barrett, nobody scored, and they kept taking threes that they weren't hitting.
Yeah.
Like at one point in the game, they were like 5 for 27 from three, and I think that was the first half.
Yeah, that's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Duke, you got to do better. You
In
got to
their
do
def-
better.
in their defense, North Carolina wasn't a whole lot better. They were still
Yeah.
better, but not that much better.
Yeah. I think it was we literally just watched the difference between age versus talent. Because Duke is a fairly young team. They have maybe three guys that actually get playing time that are juniors or seniors. Everybody else is like a sophomore, freshman.
Mm-hmm.
But Javin DeLaurier, can't pronounce that boy name to save my life. The big man down low. And I think that's it, right? I think there's one more person I'm forgetting about, but there's a reason why I forgot about him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Calvin, I know you wanted to talk about Louisville.
Okay. All right. So I'm assuming y'all didn't watch it, but okay. So here's the
I
thing.
watched.
You watch it? Okay. Wonderful. But it was like, all right, Duke and Louisville playing. Okay. Here's the thing. Louisville was winning the game for 30 minutes. All right. They were winning the game for 30 minutes, and they completely fell apart the last 10. Like it didn't make any kind of sense. Dumb turnovers. In fairness, 2 points came from the point guard just slipping where Zion had dived for the ball like the play before that. But other than that, it just made no kind of sense at all. They go from being being up by like 30 at one point being up from like 30 or close to 30 with like 10 minutes to go in the game to losing by 2.
Yeah, bro. I was they had like they were showing like the analytic, well not the analytics, but like the probability of them winning. And at one point it was like a 98% chance, and then it just dropped off like significantly, bro.
Like it was like, here's the thing: they controlled the game for 30 minutes. All right, Zion. At one point, I think Coach Case and Zion had 4 fouls. Okay, he did not foul out in those 10 minutes. He did not foul out.
Bro, somebody gotta take a charge.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Somebody gotta risk their life and go ahead and step in front of that speeding train.
Nah, I'm not doing it. He's too big.
like it didn't make any sense though, because they came out, they pretty much controlled the game, and then they just fall apart. And I just don't understand it. I really don't.
Yeah.
Well, what I seen in that game was that, towards the end of the game, uh, Coach K put one of the Jones brothers, is a Trey Jones,
Yeah.
at the top of the key, full court, and as soon as that point guard came up to the corner, trapped him, and got a turnover every single time. They kept on falling
Yeah.
for it every single time,
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
they didn't make adjustments, and that's their fault, Louisville. But I thought Louisville was going to win this game, but hey, Duke pulled one out their ass crack, and excuse my language, but man, that was a good game. It was a good game towards the end, at least.
Yeah, towards the end, the rest of it is kind of like, Duke's about to lose this one, and then they didn't.
Deserve to, bro.
No,
Hardly deserve to.
nah.
And Zion, and RJ Barrett only had 13 points, 4 assists, and 7 rebounds. Played 37 minutes, but he did a little of everything. So, but mainly it was Cam Reddish hitting those clutch threes.
Oh yeah, there was 1 3. It was like
It was clutch.
they came down. Dude, I can't remember who had the ball, but Reddish
Trey, I think it's
was right behind him. He just kind of hands it to him. He pulls up and like, that's going down.
Oh yeah.
All right, I got a question for y'all. Out of the 3 freshmen on Duke, who do you think is going to be the best NBA player and why?
Out of those 3?
Out of those 3.
I'm stuck between. If we're talking box office, I'm gonna go with Zion. But if we're talking about a basketball player, I'm gonna go with RJ Barrett, man. I'm gonna go with RJ Barrett. I see like a James Harden mixed with like a Kobe, high ceiling Kobe, low ceiling, James Harden. But he can score, man. He has so many scoring moves, bro. He got a floater. He can shoot the 3 off the pick and roll. He can spot up for a 3. He can take it to the rim at will. So, there's a lot of things he can do.
What about you, Calvin?
Okay, I'm a little different. Listen, obviously, one answer might be Zion, especially if he like develops his skills some more to go along with his unreal athleticism and the body he has. But if we're not gonna go with something obvious, I'm actually not gonna go with Reddit. I'm gonna make Barrett. I'm gonna make the argument for Reddish on the grounds, basic, because the thing is, like, he with the other 2 there, he's basically designated shooter.
Yeah.
So basically, it's the entire season of him getting to improve his shot. When otherwise he'd probably be playing a bit more like they do, kind of like we saw in the Duke North Carolina game, going to the rim more. Him generally being more aggressive, and he's been relatively successful. I don't think he's been that great. He's been inconsistent, but so is the entirety of Duke. But I feel like part of why he probably might end up being the most successful is that just the way he's set up at this point, he'll be able to adapt more readily to whatever team he's on. You can just kind of plug him in and he'll figure it out.
I gotta agree with Levi on this one. I gotta go with Barrett just because I feel like what we're passing up on Barrett is that his floor is probably going to be better than all of them. I think at worst he's going to be a 10-point per game scorer for the rest of his career, and
Oh
like
yeah.
a solid 10-point per game scorer. Like not as prolific as Joe Johnson and not as athletic as Rudy Gay, but like that solid dude that just kind of gives you some buckets that you're not mad at having on the floor down the stretch. Don't really know what that defense is ever going to look like, but offensively, that's where you go ahead and butter that roll. You ain't gonna be mad at that one.
Oh yeah, and he has the ability to take the ball down the court. I mean, so does Zion though. So I mean, I can see why Calvin was going
Right.
for Zion. He does a lot of things.
Like I
So
feel like Zion has the highest floor personally, but part of that is just like how he plays. He hustles every possession of every game,
Yeah,
I can see that.
and just that combined with his athleticism, and especially because he's going to be in the NBA, he should get better at some things. Like even if he doesn't become the truth, like it seems like he's going to be when he gets to the league, then he never becomes that. If if we look up and he's a career double double, maybe not 20 points per game or whatever, but like a low double double,
yeah.
it would make perfect sense.
So we're looking at super athletic Kenneth Faried at worst.
Basically, yeah,
Yeah,
That can handle the ball though.
yeah.
yeah. How about Kentucky though? Since we already in the state of
Uh,
Kentucky,
all right.
Facts.
bro. I got this one thing I want to say about Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Every single year they start off rough, except that one year where they went undefeated with when they had Carl Anthony Towns. But literally, just about every year since Calipari has been there, there is a part where we all kind of say maybe Kentucky isn't that good, especially over the last 3 or 4 years. And then all of a sudden, come conference time, we're like, okay, because they get to beat up on the rest of the SEC, and that's when all their talent kind of melts together, and something amazing happens, and then they're just kicking everybody but in March Madness, and everybody's like, we didn't see this coming at the beginning of the year. It's like, why do y'all keep counting that out? Like, there's that many talented people, and as much as I don't like John Calipari as a coach, he has a
I hate him.
really good ability to get everybody to not care about their ego and care about these results. Who knows what happens in the NBA? Some of them make it, some of them don't. But like he has a great ability to just be like, look, go ahead and do what I tell you to do, and you're gonna get drafted. And it works out every single year. They make it to the Sweet 16, and then they fall apart because they're too young. But that's all I gotta say on that one.
Um, what? Okay, so what was it? Last weekend, Kentucky played Tennessee. All right, Kentucky played Tennessee at home, Rupp Arena. They dismantled Tennessee. They had control of the entire game. It wasn't particularly close. Um, what was I don't remember what the score ended up being. I think it was like a
69-86.
thank you. It was about 20-point win for Kentucky. Um, in what at that point, prior to that, Tennessee only had one loss, and that was to a number one ranked Kansas team in overtime. Um, and I think this one kind of took the Tennessee team by surprise. I don't think they were ready for it. Um, what Calipari felt like um, part of that win was them losing to LSU at the buzzer with a controversial call earlier in the week. Um, because what it was about whether or not it should have been like a goaltend or no basket interference or something like that, but they couldn't review it. So LSU got that win, but but Tennessee came to Kentucky and got destroyed, and they were wildly unprepared. They were probably a little bit cocky, Um, but for me, at least, it's not wildly surprising. Not necessarily the amount they lost by, but just that they lost because Kentucky is and was a top 10 team. I would assume pretty much anybody that goes to play a top 10 team over at their house is probably coming away with a loss. But what TJ Washington, they didn't have an answer for him. They also didn't try and double him at all. And he was just doing whatever he wanted early.
Yeah, PJ Washington is very confusing to me, bro. Because
he really is.
I think I'm thinking too much about last year.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't seem like he has the tools. He just doesn't know how to use them. And then this year, like over the last, I want to say like 10 games, like everything's clicking for him. I don't know if he's just riding a wave or he actually got better.
I mean, I think he actually got better, if for no other reason than he's had a year to kind of figure it out. He's had the off season, and he's had this season coming in. He's had time to figure the mental part of the game out.
Yeah.
Even if he didn't necessarily get better skill wise, which he probably did, he's had time to figure the mental part of the game out. So now he is the best player on a Kentucky team that is, as usual, starting to click at the right time.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I can see.
What'd you say, Levi?
I said, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to touch on about Kentucky?
I hate Kentucky, to be honest with you, but it is what it is.
Actually, what might be? Never mind. Okay, actually, no. It would be fun. A rematch against Duke and Kentucky in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that definitely needs to happen.
I don't know if I want to see that, bro.
Why not? You think Duke's gonna smack them?
Who's gonna guard Zion? A healthy Zion is is literally that team's kryptonite. They don't have anybody with enough size, or they don't have anyone who can actually guard him. Like you go small, you get barreled over. You go big, he goes around you. Zion's gonna drop 40 in the national title game if they play him, unless they like triple team him. Yeah. And then you got to worry about Reddish.
I mean, I don't necessarily want it to be the title game. Maybe Final Four, Elite Eight, but I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
That's even if Zion plays. I mean, there's speculation out there. People saying that he shouldn't play. He should play. He should shut it down for the whole season. So what do you think about that? What do y'all think about that?
I'm going to be real with you. I think the dumbest thing in the world that you can possibly do is actually listen to that. Because this happens like it usually happens more on like college football side when they're like, oh, go ahead and shut it down. And then everybody questions how much you actually care about the game. And not only that, you got this far because you want to play. Like one thing that's special about Zion is he clearly loves playing the game. And why would you, or I get the business perspective. I get it.
Secure the bag.
I don't think you secure the bag that much because most things are drafted off because of what you've done lately. You sit out 5 months and let's say Barrett takes over, who's already the sneaky number one, and he cleans up his efficiency, or Reddish just has that takeover mode, and then Zion's number 2. You didn't just secure the bag. You lost $5 million. Congratulations. Now your bag has a hole in it. Have fun.
But he has time to work on his game and recuperate and be healthy by then.
Bruh, you remember Nerlens Noel when he tore his ACL and he was still drafted number 6?
And he is hot garbage.
Yeah, but that didn't have anything to do with him sitting out. He was going to be hot garbage regardless.
Let's think of another player that happened to another player that's actually good. Let's think about it.
I mean,
Joel
fairness.
Embiid.
Yeah, I guess.
I think what might be different with these scenarios is that they didn't choose to sit out. They
Yeah,
had broken and torn ligaments that did not allow them to
to
play.
play like they
With
couldn't play.
Okay.
with Zion, I think his was
Like
like a knee
it's just
sprain, and they're saying
yeah,
he can come
something
back
Yeah, first degree
something
within
knee
real
a
sprain.
minor.
week. If he's like, no, I'm good, I would like, are you worried about this money or you want to play?
I, I mean, if he sat out, it's whatever, I guess. But it's kind of an overreaction. It's just like his injury is not it's not that serious. Now he needs to go find some like he probably needs some new shoes. Like
Oh
he
yeah.
needs he like he shouldn't maybe he should get a different pair of Nikes. But um just in and of itself, his injury is not that serious. It's not like I think Darius Garland withdrew from Vanderbilt earlier in the season, but that's after an injury that ended his season anyway.
Yeah,
Poor guy.
yeah. But
He's poor.
also something I heard on ESPN is that Zion had been wearing those shoes all season long.
Same shoes.
Yeah, same
Probably.
shoes.
Oh, wear and
And
tear.
yeah, and that's why what we saw happen.
Well, now
But
he knows he has to switch his shoes every game.
yeah.
I mean,
But how, like realistically, how do I feel about people saying top prospects should shut it down the minute they make a name for themselves?
That on
not a,
the hmm?
yeah. Go ahead, Cap.
on the on the I'm just gonna say in general it's kind of dumb. One because yeah you're the top prospect now, but there are plenty of instances where you're not necessarily a lock at where you're going to go. So you shut it down, and like you mentioned earlier, somebody could take the spot that you were at. You don't make as much money as you could have. In addition, in a lot of instances, like yeah, dudes get hurt, but in a lot of instances, a lot of the injuries aren't super serious, and like they probably would have been playing otherwise. Um, you mentioned college football. It's a little bit different in that usually when they shut it down, it's the last game of the season anyway. It's a bowl game. Like they don't shut it down for the conference championship or the last game of the regular season. They shut it down during a bowl game, and yeah, they do get that questioning. Um, I I don't think that folks would question Zion or another basketball player, but I don't know. Basketball players don't really do that. Um, wait, what did you ask? I forgot.
How do you, how do you feel about people actually saying top prospects should shut it down?
Okay, yeah. Um, I mean, if they can look if you can look and it's like they're alive no matter what happens, they're going wherever they're supposed to be going. Then if they want to shut it down, fine. But you got there playing the game. Assumably you enjoy the game that you play, and if you do enjoy that game that you play, there aren't a whole lot of good reasons for you. Like there aren't a whole lot of good reasons that would that are justifiable in the sense of actually coming to fruition. Like unless Zion destroys his knees, all of a sudden he's still going number one or top five, what have you.
Yeah, top. Yeah, I can
Um,
see that.
like unless those things like unless he has like a Sean Livingston type injury from like years ago,
Yeah,
or like Gordon Hayward like what 2 years ago, a year or two ago.
last year,
Um,
right?
Yep, last
like
year.
he's going top of the draft. So if he just wants to keep playing, he should. Like there's no reason not to. Go ahead and like go for that championship.
Yeah,
Like get that All American Player of the Year. Get all your accolades. Like, but yeah, that's my thing.
yeah. What about you, Leviticus?
I don't like the idea because I mean, if you like the game, like Calvin said, if you like the game, play it. I mean, if you're healthy, play the game. You know, I mean, I understand that you want the money, the bag, and you're trying to play it safe. But if you love the game of basketball, GMs are going to see that, and they're going to want to draft you based off of your passion and your talents. So that's what I think about it.
Beat that. Talk that stuff, bro. I see you.
Alicia.
Yeah, bro. I think anybody that automatically becomes a hole in your game. Like they talk about Andrew Wiggins all the time. Like he clearly doesn't want to be there. If Andrew Wiggins had the option to go ahead and sit down and had like a reason, don't even think he would have did it. Because
Exactly.
you have a passion for this game. You just might not show it all the time. But you have a passion for it, especially a kid like Zion. But let's go ahead and move on to the next subject because we have been talking about Zion for like 20 minutes. I'm okay with that. I would love to do the Zion podcast for the next like 25 years. Besides to play basketball that long, because that man is very interesting. But let's go ahead. We still talking about college basketball. I got a question for you guys.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Is this what I think this is about?
What kind of bag do you think Anthony Edwards got to go to Georgia to play basketball? Not football, basketball.
Let's see.
It gave him full scholarships, prostitution, all types of stuff, man.
They pulled up with the Brinks truck and it was filled with strippers. Like he was like, "Yeah, bro, you coming here? You coming here?" Like, yeah, man. Oh,
That's
he turned
crazy.
down. He turned down to go to Kentucky. The possible number 1 draft pick next season was like, Kentucky's nice, but I'm gonna go to Georgia.
But he's from that state though, isn't he? Yeah, he's from Georgia. But I'm gonna make the argument. I mean, they probably pulled some stuff whether they needed to or not. But also it's like I'm one of the best. I'm the best shooting guard in the country, a top 5 prospect. Just me personally, I'm gonna go wherever I want to go.
Yeah, I always appreciate when players do that, though.
Yeah.
Represent their hometowns.
And like he's probably gonna go top. Like he's probably gonna go top of the draft next year, pretty much wherever he goes, unless he just falls apart. Because when I saw him play, actually I didn't know he was who he was at the time. Mm-hmm. But it's just like and at least for me, he didn't actually look like he didn't necessarily stand out. And then it's like, after a second, it's just like, he can jump out the gym. He's kind of doing whatever he wants when he wants. So like, I don't think he's gonna have an issue. Like if he decides, I want to stay close to home and just go to Georgia, go ahead. Hopefully it works out a little bit better for you than it did for Langford.
Poor Romeo. That boy ain't got no help. But I think there's also going to be a difference because I do think Anthony Edwards, excuse the pun, has a little bit more dog in him than Romeo Langford does. Because I remember watching Romeo Langford a couple times this season, and you could tell there's either a mixture of he wants to be friends with everybody else and he doesn't want all the attention on him, or he's just a really fabulous teammate. Because even from the beginning, the middle, or the end, it wasn't like he was like, "Give me the ball, I can turn this over." He's like, "I'm going to make the right pass and I'm going to have everybody feel included." It's like, no, bro, you're the only 5-star prospect worth talking about on this team. I need you to go ahead and show us why we wanted you so bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But
I could see why he committed to Georgia. I mean, he's from the South, so like Calvin said, I can see why he went there. A lot of players like to do that.
Yeah.
Generally.
Would you have your son do something like that? Like would you steer him towards like going to Missouri or something?
No, I would not. I definitely would not. I definitely would not. wherever he wants to go. But I'm not going to stare at him KU or MU. You know, I'm not going to do that. But, you know, I prefer Duke or, you know, a good program. South Carolina, I like their program. You know, places like that, man. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the record.
Put it on the record.
Teams, when my son, AP3, that's what he will be known as. Alan Pettigrew III, when he becomes a top prospect, Kansas, y'all don't even got to give me a bag that big. I'll take 20K. That's all I need. I just need a boat. I don't even like boats, but I'll take a boat. I'm just kidding, kind of. Y'all want to go ahead and get back into the NBA because I think that's all we got.
Real quick, I'm sorry. What did y'all ask?
I think it was. What was it?
Would you steer your son to go to your hometown school, basically, which is probably Memphis, maybe, right?
Yeah, depending on how you want to put it, it'd either be Memphis or Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Low-key want some more top prospects to go to HBCU, so I'd probably go ahead, go to FAMU and drop 60 a game, my guy.
Kinda, yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna stop you. Come say something to you, just hit them. What they gonna do? Kick you out of school? No, you good, bro.
my thing with my kid, top prospect, like go to Memphis, go to Vandy, go to FAM, or go to like Harvard or somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere, you know.
Like if you're not gonna go to one of those schools, go to a place where you're gonna get the connection, and the education is supposed to be super amazing.
Go somewhere where it's warm, bro. Cause I'm not trying to. It's winter time during your season, bro. I'm not trying to be freezing and happy at the same time. I refuse to do that. Don't go to like Alaska University, bro. It's my only option. No, it's not, bro.
No, it's not, bro.
We'll go to the JBA. Stop playing.
The JBA. Speaking of college, before we end the college segment, how do you feel about LaMelo Ball trying to go to KU, talking to KU?
Hey,
you like that idea?
I've been more excited for a prospect outside of Andrew Wiggins in my life to go to KU, bro. I would love to see him in that red and blue jersey. I know it's not going to happen, but I need him to go.
Shoot, I might have to go to a game if he comes.
Look,
I'll buy season passes. What you mean? I'll drive for 4 hours to go up to Austin to see him play.
Look, I just want to see if they can pull it off and be somehow eligible. I just want to see that.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
Like he's trying to go to Duke, and it's not like he's trying to go to Kentucky. They're going to pay attention to whether or not you're eligible.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna investigate.
Did you hear about Kansas being like, actually, we're not recruiting?
Yeah, I seen that. I was okay, whatever.
Like, hold your horses, LaMelo. We talked to you on the phone. That don't mean we want you, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe it's against the rules. Maybe they're not trying to talk to him so they won't get fined or something. You know, maybe they just
take that fine, bro. Take that fine and give him a scholarship. That's all I want. I don't need much else.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Question before we end this. Since the Duke tickets were like $2,600 on average.
Goodness.
Right? I wish I had $2,600 right now. I'd get it in pennies and roll around in it like I'm an idiot. But they were saying this is another reason why college basketball players should get paid. And once again, I go back to the why.
You said why?
Yeah, there are way too many rules and stipulations.
Because they accumulate billions of dollars for these schools.
I get that, but
billions of dollars. They don't come here for just an education because they're good at education. They come because they're good at basketball, and they're accumulating billions of dollars for your school, for your brand. That's why they should get paid for it.
Well, they were saying, what's the reason athletes should get paid? I'm sorry.
Because the average cost of a ticket for that game was $2,600.
And they're getting paid for that. The school's getting paid for that.
Yeah, they getting the $26.
And the players don't get jacked. And they got to do all the same things the NBA play. They got to get in front of the camera. Got to do press conferences. They got to do all this other stuff that NBA players do. And they don't get paid a dime for it. Besides, you can get a buffet for breakfast, lunch, dinner. You got to eat ramen noodles, though.
No, you don't. Look, it depends on what school you're going to. But have you seen Kansas basketball dorms?
Yeah, those things are nice.
Bruh, they have a barbershop inside. And they have their own personal basketball court inside.
I've seen that.
And I think they have like a private chef in there too. Realistically, they don't have to leave the dorm.
Nice.
Imagine being like, yeah, I need money too. It's like, bro, you're already here free. What are you talking about? All right, yeah.
It does depend what school you go to. As also.
You said what? Bruh, I get what you're saying, but FAMU's basketball team is tragic, to say the least. I've never heard any of them boys complain about anything. Some of our biggest hype beasts are those athletes. So NCAA, don't listen to this. I don't know where they're getting that money from. Maybe their parents are rich, but I've never heard any of them ever say anything about being hungry.
Ben Simmons, he said he was starving. He said he had $10 in his account. $10, literally.
Bro, this is the thing. Ben Simmons' dad, I think he coaches in Australia and was a professional basketball player in Australia, and I think a little bit in the U.S. Your dad was just making it rough on you, bro. He didn't want to give you money. That's what that was.
I mean, he's on his own, Some parents just leave your kids on their own. I mean, you're on your own now. You're an adult, but technically you're not adult. You're only 18 years old, going to school.
It's like you're legally an adult. You're not really an adult.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're still on a leash,
Like, what was it? The folks we talk about whenever we really think about whenever we start talking about should the athletes get paid? The Zion Williamson, Ben Simmons, whoever's on North Carolina's team of the world. They're there pure, like their stuff is purely for basketball. There do exist out in the world of folks who aren't supposed to be going first in the draft. People who actually, because the thing is, they're just the high profile folks, pretty much just there for basketball. That is their job. They're not really there. They're not there for the education. They're there for basketball. So, and in that respect, yeah, like they get the easiest classes possible. In the case of North Carolina, the classes are a joke. They don't really exist. And there are probably some other big schools that do that mess too.
Memphis.
I don't even know. Anyway,
he not snitching.
I mean, whatever. Focus. One thing at a time. All right. So, but it's like there are kids in D1 who actually do have to go to class and get the grade. But the dudes we're talking about, for the most part, aren't those guys. They're there for basketball. They were paid under the table to come and play basketball. Like, that is all they're there for. You might as well make it so they can get paid over the table, or at least make money off their likeness. Like, let Zion go ahead and get sponsorships.
Yeah, exactly.
Pay him.
Exactly.
I see where that goes, but there will always be an unfairness to it. Because Buddy that goes in the second round is not getting the same type of love that Zion's going to get. He's not going to get the same type of love that Romeo Langford is going to get. Because Romeo Langford is a homegrown talent, and he went to Indiana. I think every person with a mom and pop store is like, hey, will you endorse my brand? He's getting at least $50 from every person in that town. Every person in Bloomington, Indiana is going to give him $50. Like, he's going to be fine. every time he go out, somebody's like, I got you. I'll pay for your meal. Right. But in Tallahassee, just because you got them just because you got the warm up on, bro, I'm not giving you a single penny. it's like you about to go out here and lose? Yeah, come on, bro. I'll give you a hug. Tell you it's okay. It'd be better next time. It won't, but I'll be nice to you.
Like, but it's like even with that though, it's like okay, we say they can make money off, like players can make money off the likeness. Yes, they're everyone's not getting the same type of love. Like the Mike Dom at South Dakota State isn't about to be out here getting a massive Nike deal like Zion would get the moment that stuff could happen. Like he's not getting a massive shoe deal, but his biggest thing out there's money for him.
Yeah.
And he's still one of the best players in college basketball.
Yeah. There's sponsors for everybody.
Yeah, even if they're not big sponsors.
Yeah.
It's like the car dealership a couple miles down the road wants to throw some money at you to get on a billboard for them.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, it's driving sales, it's business.
Yeah. I do think if you got some type of hustle, they should definitely let you do that. Like if you're a really good artist and you draw on shoes, I think they should let you do that. But as far as like a single entity paying you to go to class, because that's your first duty. If you don't do that, at least you can't even play basketball. I definitely think that should be a thing. Like, did y'all hear about? I want to say it was a USF kicker or UCF kicker. He had a YouTube page, and the YouTube page blew up, and he was getting paid for it, and they snatched his scholarship away.
What?
Yeah,
Damn.
this happened like 2-3 years ago, and like he was really good. Like possibility of him getting drafted in 2 years when it was his time, and they went ahead snatched that, and I don't think he's made a NFL team yet.
That is
That's messed up.
wild.
That's how
That's
corrupt the
wild.
system
Like
is.
no one,
It's
like
corrupt.
no student who's not an athlete. That's not gonna happen to you. Like they're not about to snatch your scholarship because you got a YouTube page.
Yeah,
Not an
if it
athlete.
was like a regular student, like a frat boy or something like that, or a sorority, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna take that from you, bro.
There's kids that make millions while in college. Not all of
Exactly.
them, but there's kids that they have their hustle and they're straight
Yeah, why does that have to
in
be on
college.
that?
Yeah.
That's weird. That's just weird, man.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and move on to the NBA. Tired of being depressed and not caring about these 7-footers getting money. The boy Isaiah Thomas is back. Anybody watch that game or see anything that was interesting?
I see he's getting his legs under himself, and also getting his confidence. He says little leg. Why you gotta say that, man? Come on, man.
Bro,
Let the man live.
bro.
Let the man live.
Yeah, he start dunking on people. I'll leave him alone.
That's not happening.
Exactly. So I'm going to continue to make fun of him.
Hey, he'll give you 40 though.
He'll give me 40, but I'll still make fun of him. That's cool. Congratulations. At the end of the day, I'm still taller than you, huh? Like that's all I got.
So you wouldn't have made fun of Muggsy Bogues?
Oh, I definitely would have made fun of Muggsy Bogues. What are you talking about?
He would have dunked on you, bro.
No, he wouldn't have because he couldn't dunk.
He wouldn't have dunked on you.
He would have dunked on you.
No, he would not. Bro,
He'd pick your pocket every time you look up, though.
Yeah. He had. Hey, man, his defense was crazy.
He would have locked me up. I'll give him that.
Defense was crazy.
Yeah, I'll give him that. He'll lock me up, but still taller than you, sir. You're a grown man.
This dude funny. Man.
Yeah, bro. I love stories like that.
Yeah.
The little guy making it to the pros, doing some stuff, and then somebody calling him a fucking midget and ruining it all.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever. Like that's still the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like you probably heard that type of mess all your life. Why do you care now?
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, bro, that must have been a bad day for you.
Yeah.
That must have been one of them days where he put his shorts on and was like, they're still too big. And then Michael Jordan was like, hey, little buddy, and I just broke him. Poor kid. Uh, yeah, but outside of that, All-Star Weekend, was it worth it? Like, were you entertained? Are you not entertained by All-Star Weekend? Because I'm tired of people saying that the dunk contest is terrible. That's all I gotta say.
I got lazy, so I didn't watch the last 2 days. I didn't see the All Star game, or the dunk contest, or the 3-point contest.
Right. So you telling me you watched the celebrity game, but you didn't watch the actual NBA players do actual NBA things?
I meant to, and I watched the Rising Stars game for a little bit. I don't know.
I'm
I
so
don't know.
disrespectful.
I don't even know why I watched the celebrity game. I watched it on a whim, but um, it was fun to watch though.
What, the
Um,
celebrity game?
for me, yeah, it was kind of fun. Ray Allen was doing pretty much whatever he wanted.
Bro, you see
Uh,
Ray Allen with the handle package?
How about
but
Los? How about Los? How
Bro, I don't
about
even
that
want to talk
guy?
he,
about famous Los. That boy nice though.
That boy,
yeah,
nice. Mhm.
uh, he got buckets out here trying to break the ankles on a midget.
Hey,
Like
any did y'all peep that we just watched the end of Quavo's prime? He's no longer the best
think
hooper there
so.
is, bro. Nah, that's all I saw from that game. That boy was bad.
I,
Yeah,
I
he's out of his prime. It's famous loss now.
All he had was 2 years. Poor kid. That's a
2 years,
short career, man.
very short.
uh,
Did we see? Was Kevin Hart playing this year? I don't think he even played this
nah,
year.
he didn't play.
Kevin Hart, I don't think he played last year.
He played last year. Yeah, he played last year.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I don't know nothing about the celebrity game.
I don't know. I was just here. I was watching. I'm like all the people who who have or at some point did get money to play basketball were clearly the best basketball players.
Yeah.
Like Asia Wilson was chilling. She was just kind of all right. I'm gonna do a reverse layup.
Bro, when she was talking stuff, well,
Ah yeah, uh, with that free throw out here, talking mess.
yeah.
Um, Jay Williams
Mm-hmm.
was making some crazy passes and also doing pretty much whatever he wanted. And what didn't he get hurt? So he never played in the league. He didn't play in the league that long.
I think he played like a season and a half, and then he crashed his motorcycle, and then they were like,
Yeah, it's like
"We'll
that's what
let you
that
have
was.
his money, bro."
Yeah, but him, Ray Allen, and Asia Wilson were clearly having entirely too much fun.
Yeah.
Like at one point, they showed Ray Allen. He had the biggest smile on his face, just out here shooting 4-point shots.
Yeah, I was watching it. I was like, "This man is really out here playing this game to get a 10-day contract."
Oh yeah,
I see you, Ray.
for real. And then
Um,
he got to play in the 3-point contest where they brought the alumni, I would say, to shoot. They did pretty terrible, not gonna lie. But
Bro, when he airballed, I was like, "Well, there go his. That's his 10-day contract right there, bro."
it's
Like, you're
gone.
not even making contact.
Oh man. I think they scored only like 8 points, I believe. I think it was like 8 points.
Bro, when they brought them out there, I was like, whoa, they about to drop like they gonna have to drop like 20 racks on that charity. It was like, no, not even close.
Not even close.
um, what? How's the dunk contest? Like
Bro,
I've seen some of the highlights, but
I thought the dunk contest was straight. I kept hearing people say this is the worst dunk contest ever. And I'm
They say
like,
that every year.
bro,
they do.
I'm starting to hate that. It's like we all know what the worst dunk contest ever was. That's the one the Barry boy won. I can't think of his name. I think it's Rick Barry. But it's
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
that played
Brent
for the
Berry.
They had a
Warriors.
dunk contest back then.
Yeah, he won one because everybody
Wow.
else was awful, bro. And I was like, come on, did y'all not see Hami? But boy, Hami jumped over Shaq and then put his arm in the rim.
Yeah, that was
Yep.
nasty.
That is the most ridiculous thing that I've seen in years, bro. Outside of like people who get professionally paid to dunk, that is the most ridiculous thing I've seen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but outside of that dunk, that was not the most memorable dunk
Yeah.
contest ever. They
No.
gave a throwaway 50 for I believe Dennis Smith Jr. jumped over can't think J. Cole while he was sitting in the chair. And they were like 50. I was like, I can jump over J. Cole while he's sitting in the chair, bro. I can't dunk it, but I can get up there, bro.
I think it's because he's a smaller player, and how high he got. They go off of that too. They go. And then he did. Then he brung it around like a little mini windmill, dunked
Like,
it. But
question: when we say he jumped over him, do we mean like he jumped over him where like he had to open up his legs and hit a split to clear, or like his feet were over a dude's head?
Yeah, he kind of happy. He kind of had to open his legs up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the highlight of the night is when J. Cole tried to dunk the rock.
Yeah.
That was the
He
highlight of the
barely
night.
missed, bro.
Bro, he was almost in there.
Didn't he
He
have
had-
like jeans on too? I think
Yeah,
that was the most
he had a
impressive
bubble
thing.
cut. He had a bubble cut on. Bubble coat. Like, what's going on here? I have to take all my clothes to try to dunk, man. All my clothes, dog. Shorts.
You be out here ass naked dunking.
Oh man, I need all the weight off of me as possible.
Hey, bro. Thank you for putting that image in my head.
Goodness.
Oh,
Good.
snap. Okay. No, but did y'all hear about like people who keep saying that the dunk contest is not what the dunk contest used to be because the stars don't do it anymore? And realistically, I can't think of any star currently that I want to see in the dunk contest. Like I've never wanted to see LeBron James in the dunk contest. There's never been a dunk that LeBron has done outside of like the double pump alley dunk that he did in like 2007 that I've ever seen LeBron do where I'm like, yeah, I want to see him in the dunk contest.
Maybe when he was in his prime, when the dunk contest was actually kind of popular, which was probably in 2009, maybe 2009 around that era. But other than that, I don't know.
Uh,
I
did Westbrook ever enter the dunk contest? I don't think.
No, and I
Mm.
can guarantee you I don't want to see Russell Westbrook in a dunk contest. There's never been anything I've seen from him that says this man is going to be amazing in a dunk contest. He is an in-game dunker. He's going to make you look bad. If this was a poster competition, I have my money on Russell Westbrook at this point.
Definitely.
He's going to have the prettiest posters. But if we're talking about a dunk contest where you have to be creative, you got to do the between the legs, behind the back, all that good stuff. The only person I can honestly think that I want to see for sure is Paul George. And he was already in when he did terrible. Like people kept saying Giannis, don't want to see Giannis at all, bro. Unless Giannis is going to jump up there, grab the back of the backboard, then dunk it on the way down, don't want to see that.
That'd be awesome to see.
Mm-hmm.
I pay extra for that, bro. Like after already buying my ticket, I would go back and give them $50 extra. It's like that was worth it.
Thank you. Go there. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's like a tip. But yeah, man, dunk contest, it was alright. You know, wasn't my favorite, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. And Joe Harris just shot himself into close to $100 million contract.
Yeah.
I know y'all watched that 3-point contest.
Yeah, I seen most of it, yeah. Joe Harris won.
I think he hit like at least 25 each round.
Yeah, he was very consistent. Oh yeah. He's one of the reasons why Brooklyn is dangerous this year. It could be dangerous in the playoffs if they make it to the playoffs. Definitely.
Oh yeah. Surprisingly, very good backcourt. Like if
Yeah.
somebody would have told me that would have been a good backcourt
Like
when D'Angelo Russell got drafted, and I'm like, nah, bro, nah.
nah, boy.
Because I remember Joe Harris when he played for, I believe, Virginia. I was like, he's not going to be good in the NBA. I was wrong.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody think he was gonna be this good. At least.
I'm telling you, when JJ Redick decides to retire, how we talk about him being like a really consistent shooter over his career is going to be Joe Harris is going to be that for the next generation.
You think so?
Oh hell yeah! Who else? Who else is shooting like that?
All the guys in the 3-point contest.
False. Nobody else is doing it on like a JJ Redick level, where the only thing they can do is shoot. Like, what else have you ever seen JJ Redick do besides shoot, bro? I can't remember the last time I seen him get a layup.
Barely. I mean,
I've been following him since he was in when he got drafted by the Magic when he was next to Dwight Howard.
Oh yeah, I remember those days.
None of that.
Yeah, literally all he did is come off screens, spot up, maybe get a back cut, but that's gonna barely happen. Just catch the defense off guard. But I remember those days, man. Whew. They had a whole bunch of snipers on that team too.
Bro, they had to. Rashard Lewis. Stroking.
Yep.
Big man.
They had Ryan. They had JJ.
Ryan Anderson was on that team, wasn't he?
Yeah. They had Jameer Nelson.
That's bad. I forgot all about him. That was my favorite team at the time too, bro.
The Magic, yeah.
Michael Pietrus.
Yeah, Michael. He had a shot too, and he had defense. Dangerous.
Tito Turkoglu out here juicing up before the games. Who else was on that team? Vince Carter. Yeah, Vince Carter was hooping.
Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was there. Of course, everybody knows that.
He wasn't shooting though.
No, he definitely wasn't.
I think Rayford Austin was on that team too for a little bit.
You said who?
Rayford Austin.
Maybe.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Okay. Question. What do you think could possibly make the All-Star game more fun outside of stars doing the things that we don't really care about that much?
Let me think. I would say having players bring. I don't know, man. This is a tough one. There's a lot of stuff they could probably change, man. That they should change.
I don't even know.
I got one event.
Which one?
One-on-one.
One-on-one?
One-on-one, bro. Instead of skills challenge, one-on-one.
One-on-one challenge?
Yeah.
Would you give them like a set time? They have to get a bucket off a shot clock.
You got to get the 5. Shot clock.
Ooh, that'd be intense.
Shot clock, 12 seconds. First person to 5.
So what does the winner get?
A trophy, like everybody else. I get nothing else.
Hey, man.
You about to get these clicks and you're going to get this trophy and you're going to leave me alone.
All right. I can see. I like that idea. I like that. I'm trying to think of another one, like something to do with the retired guys besides the celebrity game, like
the big 3.
Yeah, they should add that. They should add that
league. No.
He said they got their own league. That'd be fun though. You know, bringing them to the All-Star game like they bring the old alumni shooters. Why not have that for the for the guys that retire. You know.
I'm not gonna lie, that'd be kind of lit if the NBA does decide to buy out Ice Cube, and now they got the G League for the babies, NBA for the real NBA players, and then they got the big three for when you decide to get old, you come over here and play with us.
Yeah, that'd be something special, man. I'd put basketball on top of Mount Rushmore.
Basketball's already on top, bro. In
Yeah.
the world.
This is just a random thought,
Okay.
but do y'all think that an old Allen Iverson would still break ankles if he were to just randomly show up and play like NBA players 1-on-1 or even in a game?
Currently, I think you'd probably be able to give poor defenders like I think he might be. How I can't even think of somebody. Who Jose Calderon. I think he's still playing. I think Allen Iverson across him up pretty bad. But like an actual NBA player that we're talking about, even somebody on like a bad team like DeAndre Bembry, nah, you're not getting that off. Nah.
Yeah. He's probably not even explosive as he was when he had the handles back in the day. But maybe he can cross up a big off of a pick and roll.
Zaza Pachulia broke that boy ankles in two.
Definitely.
In the middle of the game, bro.
Definitely. I could see that. I could definitely see that. But that's all I have to say on that one.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else we got on the itinerary. If my phone ever decides to unlock. Okay, cool. All right. I think that might be it. Unless we want to talk about people who got traded.
Did y'all do something? I thought y'all did a little something with that earlier.
We did. We'll probably come back and do that at the end of the month or something. Well, next week is the end of the month. But like at the end of March when we got like a larger sample size. Because we really don't see how everybody fitting together outside of Tobias Harris. I think he's had like three games in Philadelphia. But that's really not enough time for everybody to get adjusted and see how much they've actually improved. But yeah, we'll definitely bring that up later. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Man, nothing comes to mind at the moment.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and sign off. Levi, let's hear it.
This is Levi Washington. You can hit me up on Instagram, Fourth Quarter Legends with a Z at the end. And I have a big project. It's a secret. And it won't be launched until, we get the contracts and stuff going and all the other stuff. But it's something big, man. Be prepared.
All right, Calvin.
All right, I'm Calvin McGowan. Follow me on Twitter at C McGowan II CMCGOWAN II. I talk a lot about college basketball. All right. Well, when I do talk.
Yeah. And this is Alan Pettigrew signing out. Don't forget to follow me at AP_the_great_. I got a new piece I just did on the last couple games that the Thunder have played, and I have another one coming up probably today about how Markieff Morris fits with the Thunder. That should be coming out later today. Link will definitely be in the bio. And another thing, I have been filming a lot of basketball at all different levels. down here in Dallas. So go check it out. I have on our YouTube page, The Traveling Hooper, have a couple videos of some of the top ranked um, eighth graders that are going to be freshmen this year coming up. There's one kid that's going to be amazing, and Cameron Barnes, who's already 7 feet tall, and he just turned 14, so he's going to be super scary. And a bunch of other guys similar to that. And yeah, follow us at the Traveling Hooper on Twitter for all the little comments and whatnot that we will be bringing to you. And thanks for listening. Have a great day.